thank you so much for stopping by. This is your first time here. My name is Natalia, and for today's video, we're doing another declutter. And I'm going to be decluttering my foundation slash skin tint and just basically any of my base products here. I have dry skin and I am 34. And I typically like to go for products that are more on like the hydrating, medium to light coverage, more medium than light, but I definitely don't go for like full coverage. But I do like to have like one or two that are more higher coverage just in case I have to go to like an event or something. So we're going to be going through all these. A lot of these are very old, so we're probably going to be getting rid of a lot of them. This is kind of like my full collection, what I'm keeping, top favorites, declutter kind of video, and I'll also link my playlist with my other declutters that I've done so far. Let's go ahead and get all these out and go through them. I'm gonna try not to mix them because we have like some older ones over here. Alright, so here we have them all laid out. I'm going to start with these two from LYS Beauty. This is a sample size, and I got shades LN8 and MN5 because I wanted to see if I like this. I feel like a lot of people talked about this at the very beginning when it came out, and they sort of stopped talking about it. I don't know why, but this is one that just didn't really work for me. I'd never really liked it too much. It was a little bit more on like the thicker side. All right, so that's shade LN06, I guess. But it's more like on the thicker side. I don't know if you guys will be able to notice that. And it's just not the type of foundation that I'm into. I like the ones that are more thinner and they just spread out better. So I don't know. And it just wasn't a favorite for me. And I've had them for a long time. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these. Next up, we have these two from Purito. This is the Cica Clearing BB Cream. And I have them both in the same shade. Number 23, Natural Beige. I really, really like this. They call it a BB cream, but honestly, this is more like a foundation. But it looks so pretty on the skin. It's supposed to give you a healthy looking glow, flawless coverage. And it's supposed to be fragrance free. I'm pretty sure on their website it says that this has SPF, but on the packaging, as you guys can see, it's all in a different language, so I'm not sure that it is. Apparently it's also a vegan, which I didn't know. And Purito is a cruelty-free brand, but this is one that I really like. I've had this for way too long, but since I have a replacement already, I don't need to keep this one. But this is definitely one of my favorites for sure. Feel like it's dark. Why is it so dark? Continuing on, we have this one from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the Luminous foundation, and I have it in the shade 210N. The packaging on this was always pretty terrible, like as you guys can see. This also started leaking at some point, but this one is a nice foundation. I would say it's like in the middle, where it's not really a favorite, but it's also not like a not favorite of mine. But I've had this for a really long time and I am going to go ahead and get rid of it. But it did give you like a luminous glow, and it is of course more pricey. But I feel like when this came out also, and everybody was raving about it, but now that other foundations have come out, I don't really hear many people talking about this one. But it is a good one. I would recommend it, especially if you have dry skin. I feel like it looks really nice. And if you're looking for something that's a little bit more fuller coverage, this is a good one. Like I said, I tend to reach for things that are less coverage, so that's why I don't reach for this one very much. The amount of times I'm gonna say things are too old. Let's see, one that we're keeping. This one from Rare Beauty we're definitely gonna keep. This is a beautiful foundation. This is the Positive Light Tinted Moisturizer Broad Spectrum SPF 20, and I have mine in the shade 22W. They don't have a lot of neutral tones for this one, but I would say if you're kind of like a medium light neutral, I would say this one would probably work for you. It does have a squeezy thing to it, which I really like. It is more on like the lighter end for me right now that as you guys can see my hand, I'm pretty tan. But typically like mid, like fall or spring, this is like the perfect shade for me. Honestly, I don't have different shades for different seasons. I just kind of overcompensate with either like a powder or like a concealer that's a little bit lighter, or I'll just do like a bronzer if it's too light and it doesn't really bother me. This is a really good foundation, looks really pretty on the skin. I would say it's like a medium light coverage foundation, and I know they call it like a tinted moisturizer. This definitely gives you more coverage than a tinted moisturizer does, but so pretty, would highly recommend, and I'm definitely keeping it because it is newer to me. Next up, I have the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. Clearly you guys can see that this is one of my top favorites because I have so many of them and I've repurchased it. This one over here is an older one and I have it in the shade light medium. I know it expired quite a long time ago, so I'm gonna get rid of this one. But I'm going to keep these two, which are newer to me, and I have them in light medium and medium deep. I bought the medium deep to be able to like mix in two foundations that are too light for me, and so far it's worked out really nice because it doesn't really change the formula of the foundation, but it does add a little bit of deepness to it when they're too light, especially right now that I'm tan. This has hyaluronic acid, it has squalane, it's supposed to be a light non-greasy finish, sheer to medium, and I would agree this does give you like a little bit of coverage. You can get it to maybe like a medium coverage, and it's really pretty and it looks very healthy on the skin, especially if you have dry skin. I would recommend this one, but I've also heard if you have like normal to dry skin, this would work as well, and it's like $5 at the drugstore. Such a good price, and I would highly recommend that one. It will definitely continue to purchase it. This one's also newer to me, the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydration Foundation. And this one I'm a little bit conflicted because I remember loving this foundation so much, which is why I repurchased it. I just had the wrong shade. So I changed the shade, got this one. This one actually matches me really well, but I wore it a few times already and this wasn't a favorite of mine. So I don't know if I want to keep it. I think I'm going to put it in like a maybe pile just to play with a little bit longer. So that way if I don't like it, I can just give it to someone before it goes bad. This from Nudestix, Nudescreen Daily Mineral Veil SPF 30. And I have it in the shade Tint Tan. I messed up on this one royally. Like I bought it, I think it was for the last 21 Days of Beauty. And I bought it too dark, thinking that maybe if it didn't work I could just exchange it because it's just a tint. And honestly, every time I put this, it just looks ridiculous on me because it's too deep. So I think I'm gonna get rid of it. I might just post this somewhere to sell it or something because it's still new. It's in good condition. I've only worn it twice. This was good. It looked pretty on the skin, but I couldn't really play with it too much because it was too deep for me. This next one is from MAC and it's the Studio Radiance Face and Body Radiant Foundation. And I have it in the shade C1, and this one I got because everyone was raving about it. I'm pretty sure it was like a 21 Days of Beauty or some sort of sale, and I just never really liked it very much. I think you're supposed to be able to apply with like your fingers, and that's the best application. I typically don't do that. I either do sponge or brush, but this one was just okay. Like I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't repurchase it, and I know that they changed the formula from this one to like the previous Face and Body, even though a lot of people say they didn't, but I've heard that they have. So yeah, maybe the other one was better. I don't know. I didn't try the other one. This one just didn't really work for me. Plus it's pretty old. So I think I'm gonna have to just throw it out. I'm gonna have to check when I bought this. This next one is from Shiseido and it's the Synchro Skin Radiant Lifting Foundation SPF 30. And I have it in the shade 240 Quartz. And this one was a really pretty one. I did really enjoy it. I thought it had really nice coverage, kind of like a medium coverage. It's not cruelty free, so I won't be repurchasing it. I think I got it during like some type of sale or something, but as you guys can see, it's starting to separate. So it's definitely too old. I've had it for too long and it's time just to get rid of it. Same thing with this Nars. This is the Sheer Glow foundation and I have it in the shade medium 2 Santa Fe, and I know I've had this for way too long. It wasn't never like a true favorite. Honestly, the other reason why I didn't wear it enough is because it is Nars, so I was kind of like, oh well, maybe I could wear it for special occasions, and that's why I kept it, which is kind of dumb of me. I should have just worn it and maybe I would have got more of my money's worth, but it is what it is. We learn from our mistakes. And yeah, this is one that I'm definitely gonna have to get rid of. This next one I am sad to let go. This is the Sephora Best Skin Ever Longwear Foundation. This is affordable Sephora foundation, and I have mine in the shade 20N. This is, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, it really is the best skin ever. I know they came out with like a glowy version, but I haven't tried it. If you've tried both, let me know what your opinion was, because I don't know. I just feel like, how could this one get better? I don't know. maybe it is better, maybe it's not. But this is supposed to be a natural finish, and I would definitely agree. It does last a very long time throughout the day. It's like a medium coverage, and it's one that I would highly recommend. This is one that I'm gonna get rid of, but I need to remember to possibly buy again. Next we have the Urban Decay Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator, and I have it in the shade Light Medium 41. This is a really pretty foundation. I wouldn't say it's a favorite of mine because it is more on the thicker end. So I don't tend to reach for this very often. I know a lot of people love this stuff. I just wasn't really one of them, and I'm gonna get rid of it because I know I've had it for too long. Next is the Revlon Candid Glow Foundation, and this is a moisturized glow anti-pollution foundation in 120. This is okay. Like, I never really got on board with it. I know a lot of people like it, but I just thought it was okay. Just didn't really care for it, so I'm gonna get rid of it. This next one, I know it's older, but I'm not ready to part ways because I do want to use it up a little bit more. The Charlotte Tilbury Skin Foundation. I have it in the shade 4. So this is like a light to medium coverage foundation. It's really pretty. It does have a pump. I feel like it's perfect for traveling because it does not like a glass, it's plastic, but I need to use it more because yeah, this was expensive, and I don't know if I would repurchase this because I do have other ones that are cheaper that are also just as good, but it is a good foundation. So if you've been thinking about getting it, I would recommend it. I think it's good keeping it, but I don't know if I would repurchase it. This Fenty Beauty Eaze Drop Blurring Skin Tint in the shade 6. Wow, this is for sure one of my favorite foundations, and I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I did when I bought it, but it just looks so nice on the skin. As long as you just moisturize really well under, especially if you have dry skin, I would recommend that you do that. But it just looks really nice on the skin. It perfects it, almost like blurs it, and it gives you a medium to full coverage, and it looks still healthy. It lasts really well throughout the day. This is the one that I also take when I go on vacations. Will be either this one or this one because I know that I can depend on it because it's gonna look really nice regardless of what I'm doing, where I'm going, or anything like that. So I would recommend this one. I've also heard people that have oily skin like it. Maybe if you have oily skin, just wear it with like a mattifying primer under, and I'm going to keep it. Next we have the Smashbox Halo Healthy Glow All-in-One Tinted Moisturizer, and I have it in the shade Light Neutral. I'm definitely going to repurchase this one again. This is a really pretty fast type of tinted moisturizer. I would also say this is not a tinted moisturizer. This is more like a light to medium foundation. I don't know why they call them that. This just looks really pretty. It is a squeezy tube. I guess this would also be a really good one for traveling. As you guys can see, it's already separating. But this one's a lot lighter than the Urban Decay. The Urban Decay is a lot thicker, which is why I prefer this one a lot more. I think it's supposed to moisturize, tint, and protect with an SPF. So that's the all-in-one, and it is definitely a good one. It's also going to be on sale for the 21 Days of Beauty. So if that hasn't passed, I would recommend that you get it, but I'm definitely going to repurchase that one. This next one is from Essence, and it's the Pretty Natural Hydrating Foundation with Hyaluron and Aloe Vera. I have it in the shade 040 Neutral Vanilla. I know I've had this for way too long. Like, I can't even remember when I bought this, but I think I bought it because Taylor Wynn was saying that it was really pretty, and I did like it. It wasn't like a favorite, so it's time to let this one go. This one from Physicians Formula, the Butter Believe It Foundation. This is a light to medium. This, honestly, I was really surprised that I liked it as much as I did because, I don't know, I just didn't expect to like it, especially with the name Butter. It just seemed like it was going to be thick on my head. I don't know. And for being a drugstore product, like, the presentation is just so pretty. But besides that, the formula is just so nice. Like, it lasts really well, especially on hot days. It wears off really nicely throughout the day as well. I would say this is more like a medium coverage foundation, and I would recommend it. I'm not sure how it would work if you have like oily skin, but I have dry skin and it works really well for me. So yeah, I would recommend it if it's still available. But mine, as you guys can see, it's already like really gross, so it's time to get rid of that one. This one is also very old, the Catrice True Skin Hydrating Foundation. I have mine in the shade Neutral Sand, and this one was definitely one of my favorite foundations. I would repurchase it maybe when I get through some of the ones I have right now, or depending on how much I'm left with, I might repurchase it because it just looks really nice throughout the day, lasts really well. It's like the perfect hydration without it being like super dewy and slippery. I've heard also people that have oily skin like it, so I don't know, look up reviews and stuff like that to see if this would be one for you. I ended up putting this in here because I feel like it's kind of like a primer slash foundation because it does add a little bit of coverage. This is the e.l.f. Halo Glow liquid filter, and I have mine in the shade 2 Fair Light, and I know that they added more shades, so if you had already looked at this before and decided you didn't want it because of the shades, I know they have I think 4 new shades, so you might be able to find one that's for you. But this is just such a pretty product. Like, I use it sometimes just as a foundation, so I'll put it like all over my skin, and then I'll just put a little bit of concealer everywhere else, and I feel like it adds a little bit of coverage, like kind of perfects your skin without it looking super makeup-y, and it adds like a little bit of glow. You can see that it ends right there, and see how there's no glow over there, and it doesn't look oily. I don't know, it's just such a special product, and it's one that I will definitely continue to purchase even when it goes bad, and would recommend to people. Or even if you have like foundations that are more on like the dry side, like for example this with this just looks so pretty, especially on dry skin. So this is one that I'm definitely gonna keep. Next, obviously, we have a new one from Bare Minerals. This is the Complexion Rescue Tinted Moisturizer SPF 30, and I have it in the shade Natural Pecan 5. I'm definitely keeping this. I'm still trying it out. That's the shade that I got right there. It does match me pretty well. I think I'm gonna be able to use it in the summer and the winter because I feel like it's kind of like in the middle where I can bronze it up and make it look deeper, or put highlighter and make it look lighter. But this wore really pretty the other day. I feel like you can apply it with your fingers, with a sponge, or with the brush. Plus it adds a little bit of sun protection. SPF 30 is not enough, so usually I'll wear it with something else under. Plus it was on sale a few days ago and I decided to give it a try, and I've been really enjoying it, so I think I'm gonna be keeping it. This next one from Estee Lauder, the Double Wear Stay in Place Makeup. I have it in the shade 2N1 Desert Beige, and to be honest, I was so disappointed when I bought this. I had heard so many people talking about this, saying that it was their favorite, perfect for like your wedding day and like special occasions, blah blah blah, and I bought it and I don't know, kind of fell flat for me. Like, I feel like if it was a special occasion, I would way rather wear the Fenty Eaze drops than this. I don't know. I just felt like it just wasn't that impressive. Plus, it's expensive, and now it's not cruelty free. Gonna get rid of this. I would not repurchase. I wouldn't pay full price for it. No way. This next one is from Beauty Blender, and it's the Bounce Skin Tint, Always On Radiance Skin Tint, and I have it in the shade Light 5. I know I've had it for quite a while now, so I am going to get rid of it, but I will definitely be repurchasing it at some point. I don't like the applicator, like the little drop thing, but it's fine. I don't mind it too much, but it's not my favorite. And it just looks really healthy on the skin, especially if you have dry skin. This just, I don't know, it almost looks like a second skin, and it just looks really, just like it says, radiant. Light to medium foundation or skin tint, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I would recommend it, especially if you have dry skin. This is just a pretty one. Plus, it's not super expensive compared to like all the other like high-end type of foundations. I feel like it would be kind of in the middle. I think it's like 29 or 28, but for now it is old and we're just gonna get rid of it. This Laura Mercier one, the Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Foundation in the shade 3N 1.5 Latte. I bought this, someone recommended it and I can't remember who it was, and they were saying how it's like their favorite foundation, so beautiful, so pretty, and I thought it was good. I thought it looked nice on my skin, but didn't knock my socks off. And for the price, honestly, it's just, I don't know. I don't think I would repurchase it or recommend it, but that's just a personal thing. I mean, I don't think it's a bad foundation. I just wouldn't repurchase it. Oh my gosh, we're getting rid of so much. Next, we have the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation, and I have it in the shade 210 Light Medium Neutral. And this is a really nice foundation, especially when you apply it with like a sponge. It just gives you like a really, really good amount of coverage. Like, I would say this is medium to full coverage for sure. And it just lasts really nice throughout the day. It looks healthy on the skin. It lasts really well. I would say this is a good event type of foundation. alongside with this one. Like these two for me are definitely like my event foundations, and I would recommend both. I think this is a little bit more hydrating than the Fenty Eaze Drop, but not by much. I mean, it doesn't look dewy or anything like that. It's just a little bit more hydrating. Like I don't need to prep my skin too much for this one, whereas for this one I need to make sure that I have something hydrating under, and this is one that I would recommend for sure. It is a newer foundation. A lot of people love it, and it's for good reason. Also, the packaging is just so pretty. Like, I don't know, Lady Gaga did a really good job with this brand. It just looks luxe. It feels luxe. It's so heavy. I don't know if I would travel with this because I feel like it might break because it's so heavy. They did come out also with their concealer, and I'm really, really intrigued because I like the foundation so much. So I might purchase the concealer, but I'm not sure yet. And then last but not least, we have the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Glow Foundation. I got it in medium neutral. I did not like this at all. Also, the shade I bought was kind of too deep. And I don't think I'm gonna keep it. I think it looks okay, and I'm just not impressed by it. Plus, it was just a mini size, so I don't feel too bad getting rid of it. Plus, it's just, I don't know, I just don't really like it. That is it. Let me bring out everything that we're keeping, everything we're getting rid of. All right, so we have exactly 30 total, and I'm keeping 10 and getting rid of 20. Wow. But I just need to be better about buying so many foundations because honestly, I mean, I have only one face and there's only so many foundations I need to have. But I feel very happy with what I'm keeping because I feel like it's like a good amount of products. This is also not really a foundation, but I'm just putting it in here. But we have a few full coverages. We have some that are medium, some that are light. So I feel like I have a good mix. Honestly, every time I would look in my drawer, I knew that all these were expired. That's gonna be it for this video. Let me know in the comments below which other foundations you think I would like, or if you're thinking of buying any of these based on the recommendations I give you. But that's gonna be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to give me a thumbs up. Also, if you haven't subscribed already, I would appreciate if you would do so, and I'll see you guys on my next one.